My name is Greek, but my accent is French, so sorry about that. I will try to be as clear as possible by the time we display the presentation. And just to make a small parenthesis, from what I've heard up to now this morning, and being based in France, grew up in France, I think we behave exactly like the French. So I didn't know that the Greeks and the French has the same same way of behavior. First of all, in the tourism, they are very divided, I think, like in Greece. And the second factors, I think, is like they like a lot to slam themselves. And I think the French, they always look to themselves and say, we are bad, we are not doing well, we are always complaining, we are not efficient in what we do. And it's exactly what I hear here anytime I came to Greece. And I want to tell you that this is absolutely not true. We have a fantastic country, magnificent landscape, great food, and I'm living in Paris, so I can experience great food also, but my best experience is in Crete. And I baptized my daughter last summer in Crete, and it was a fantastic experience, and I enjoy it a lot. So even if it has been tough time so far, we have still a lot of resources and hope to build on. So close the parenthesis, and we can move on to the smart data. So it's a big topic, and I like to keep things very pragmatic. Business, it's always a matter of pragmatic. Marketing, it's very pragmatic also. And if we take the real life, when a man meets a woman, they do business and they make children. So when an hotelier meets a client, they do business and they make overnight and they develop the destination. And of course, the digital creates something new in this approach. So, do we have more data? Definitely. We have much more data from what we used to have before. And we've been spammed with many new words and many new topics. So in the last 10 years, we have the review online, the price tracking, the price parity, the guest surveys, the e-reputation, the marketing digital, how my website will be good in the search engine in Google and so on. So something completely different from what the hotelier used to do. I went to hotel management school. I learned how a kitchen is working. I learned how to run accommodation, rooms division, the basic of the business. But we didn't heard so much about it. Just a little bit about yield management, starting slowly. So the world has changed quite a lot. But the basic of the job from the hotelier is to give the best experience when the guest came in the properties, and digital will not help so much in that. So I think what is the most important also is that who will benefit from this data. So far, it's not so much the hotelier, and that's really the crucial point here. Those who have benefit from the data is mostly the third part, the guys who enter to the market with the technology approach, not the hotelier approach, the technology approach. It's what I was saying a little bit earlier. It's like at night, you come back home, you go to the bed with your wife, and you have thousands of people that do the discussion between you and your client. So of course, it's good that they provide business to you, like tour operators were doing it some times ago, but still they have to keep to not to a dominant position. And because the one who is owning the premises, the one who is providing the business, the one who is doing the most important investment is the hotelier and the destination itself. Just to step back a little bit in the history, of course, by the time in the 90s, we had a very basic way of doing the reservation. Someone was looking to a paper-printed guide, finding a phone number, giving a call, or calling the agency next door, and the receptionist in the hotel was taking the call, making the reservation by hand, and things were like this for many years. Then the booking engine happened and came, and it's a great opportunity because the receptionist at the back of the reception, she doesn't have or he doesn't have to take this time to make the booking. It's even the guest who will type his name in the booking and make the reservation himself, saying what he likes and so on. So we save so many time, and this time we have to employ it to give better service to the guest. And slowly, we move from basic advertising, hard advertising, I will say, to sales, and then starting the revenue management things, and everyone goes more and more crazy. We're talking about customer experience, the supply chain management, and everything turned to be very, very, very complicated. And what is the most funny about that is that our business, the hotel business, is turning very, very complicated. And in the same way, you have something which is truly simple, like Airbnb. You go, you have someone who has a house, he's free, he put it on internet, you go. There is nothing complicated to that. And this is the successful business. I had the opportunity to meet with Stelios Agioanou from EasyJet, and honestly, I didn't understand so much about what he was telling me, but there is one thing I understood, is that he told me to do something complicated, everyone can do it. It's to make something easy that is difficult, and that create a real value. So that's why when you have all these digital company coming to you, explaining that it's very complicated, you don't know the business, you cannot do it yourself, you have to rely on our know-how, it's a bit more complicated. The data need to remain in the operation. So there is also one factor. It is the famous Generation Y. So everyone said this Generation Y, they are lazy, they don't want to understand what is the purpose of working. They want everything right now, immediately. They want to be mobile. And it's their fault if we are living in this very complicated world of the digital. But I will ask two questions. How many of you are hotelier? Okay. And how many of you are from the Y generation, or they see themselves as being of the Y generation? The Y generation is 25 to 35 years old. More like digital native, and you the lazy guys I was talking about, and who want to have a lot of digital experience and everything. But in fact, this is wrong. It's a wrong statement. They are much more committed to the experience, to the human relation, to get something to share with the others. That's why the social media has been so much successful. And what they value, it's not only the usual things for price for value, it's also the experience. This is what is the most important. They are ready to get out of the box, to have something a bit new. That's why they were the Airbnb, the rent of villas and apartments, and they don't want to stay for a full week in the same place. They want to move around, to rent a car, to go to local restaurant, to get something much more crispy from the usual experience. So in fact, they are creating new shift, and also they are creating a lot of new opportunities. I will conclude with the Generation Y that I do like, and I think I'm part of it also. That today what has really changed in our business is that we have 4 generations that consume at the same time. Before, like 15 years ago, we had only 1 or 2 generations. Now you have the senior, you have the Generation Y, the Generation X, and so on. So it's much more fragmented. And also someone who go for his holiday, long time, 2 weeks holidays, let's say, during summertime with the family, he will consume in a way that he will consume completely differently when he will go for a city break for a few days or for business and so on. So no, everything is much more segmented, much more fragmented, and there is more generation consuming at the same time. So that's why our scope in tourism has shifted so much. And all those guys, they are generating a lot of data. So how we can use the smart data for efficient servuction? I don't know if you're all familiar with the servuction. In the hotel industry, we don't produce cars, we don't produce goods, we are not manufacturers. We are producing service. So the servuction, it's the whole process to produce the service to the guest. So it's the properties, it's the staff, it's the management you will give to the staff, it's the interaction between the staff and the guests. So to produce this whole process of making the services, making the hotelier services to the guest, it's what we can call the servuction, the production of the service. So how we can use smart data for that, or who is able to use smart data for that? Definitely, you have the online distributors, Booking and so on, the reviews like TripAdvisor and so, but they are not part of, they don't have the product. They are just producing a very small portion of the servuction. The servuction starts from the time that someone is on lunchtime and he saw on his mobile, on Facebook, one of his friends coming back from Greece with fantastic photo, and he said, why not, I should go to Greece last time myself. So it's really start ahead from the checking time in the premises. And also it go a lot after the checkout time from the hotel. So the one who is the most able to cope with the whole servuction process, it's the hotelier, and it's the one who had to bring back all the knowledge, all the operational data in the premises, because this is the goodwill, this is what makes the value of your business. So you have to bring it back to your business and to use it for your operation, not to leave it for the other one to have CRM, fantastic marketing campaign and everything. So we'll go very quickly because we just talked about the servuction model in the hospitality industry. So it's all this marketing, digital, distribution strategy, the quality process, the quality management, the staff management, and incentive also, which is very important, because your staff is those who are providing the satisfaction and the service to the guest. And of course, the physical support, if the hotel has no investment and need refurbishment, it will affect, of course, the production of the service and all the relation role that provide the service to the guest, that provide what we hotelier, we manufacturers as good. So the idea, you have this cloud. We talk a lot about cloud computing. Everything is on the cloud. Everything is virtual. It's non-material. So the idea for the hotel is to grab this cloud and to put it back to the operation and to master these things, to cross the data. How many visits I have on my website, at what time people they book, at what period they book, people who are booking online, what type of booking they are doing. Is the people booking as individual are more satisfied than people that book as group, and so on, and how can I put this information to my staff? How I can make my staff more knowledgeable about what the Russian like, what the Italian like, what the people who came for romantic stay they like, and so on. And how can I involve my staff to personalize much more the services? I don't know if you remember Mr. Ford in the US, who was a car manufacturer, the Ford car. He was saying, you can ask me any type of color for the car as far as it is black, because he was producing only one color of car. It was a black car, the black Ford, the basic one, and there were only one color. Then Volkswagen start with 3-4 colors, and now you see the Mini Cooper or the Fiat 500. You can choose about 1,000 of color. You can change the stuff on the top, put a flag, everything. So everything has turned to be much more personalized. Even with your iPhones, everything, the interface is fully personalized. So we have also to be able to personalize the experience from the guest. But if we don't know anything about him, how can we personalize? There is no chance. And if we didn't share this information with our staff, we cannot personalize either. So what are the type of data we have in the operation? Let's turn to be a bit more pragmatic now in terms of the operation. So you have all the quality process, which is what we call the delivered quality. What is my promise to the guest? Of course, we have basic promises in the hospitality industry. Security, cleanliness, good bed, smiling at the reception. There is basic fundamentals, pillar from our industry. This is the delivered quality, and as an hotelier, as an operator, as a guy from the hospitality business, I have to check that my promises is well delivered, and this is a process that needs to be done in a neutral way. Then I have the perceived quality. The perceived quality is the feedback I get from my guests. So the guest survey satisfaction at the end of the stay or during the stay, the e-reputation, the guest will put some reviews online, and I have to understand what those reviews are related to. And just one sentence very quickly on the e-reputation. We have two types of feedback, the solicited feedback and non-solicited feedback. The solicited feedback is when the hotelier is asking himself the feedback to the guest. And this type of feedback is the most valuable one, to my opinion. It gives you much more in-depth analysis about what are the expectations of the guest. And you have the non-solicited feedback, is while the guest goes and you leave a review online on TripAdvisor. And the return rate from both is quite huge. For hotelier, we have a system in MKG which is deployed in 5,000 hotels in Europe and Middle East. We have 25% return when it's the hotel with soliciting the reviews and the survey, and you have less than 1% from the guys who came to the hotel who will go to give a review to TripAdvisor. So the channel of analyzing is much more smaller on the e-reputation than when you have 100% of your guests in the premises and you create a direct relation with them. And I think the Greeks, they are very entitled to that. They are open-minded, they like to share things, they always like to discuss, they like to welcome. I never met anyone who came back from Greece who said they were very shiny, they didn't want to talk to us, and no, they say they are very open people and want to share their experience, their life, and their environment. So we are naturally oriented to the perceived quality. Then there is the performances, and Plato used to say, when I look to myself, I feel very worried. But when I compare myself, I feel much more reassured. So please reassure yourself every day. Please go and look what is your economic performances in terms of occupancy rate, in terms of average daily price, and benchmark yourself with the other. Are you doing well or not? How is my market is doing? And you need to do this not every year. You need to do this on a daily basis, even twice a day, because the market is moving so fast. With the internet and the digital, everything has to be very instant. And that's why you have to educate your staff to be able to comply and to take out this challenge of replying very quickly. We cannot wait 2 weeks for a bad review and not to comment on it. We cannot wait 2 weeks to understand that our price is 50 euro below the market. We have to react much more quickly and to adapt our strategy in a much more quicker way. And then, of course, you have all the marketing, we'll have said the digital marketing in a way, and all the process of managing the distribution, the channel management, what is my strategy, what the other are doing, what is the best strategy for myself. Let's experience different type of strategy and understand which one is working. I heard that you had some discussion about the big data. I've been talking with Peter Verhoeven from Booking, with the head of Europe now. And he told me, because he used to be an hotelier before, he was the chief operator from Accor. So I told the joke to Pamos, I told him, but you moved from Olympiacos to Panathinaikos, what happened to you? You're still alive when you go around in the street? And he said, oh no, it's okay, I want to help the hotelier a bit more. And in fact, I think there is no one who's doing charity business around anyway, but they are looking to do good business with that. But he told me the way I was working in Accor and the way I'm working now in Booking is completely different. It's amazing. In Accor, we had marketing decision. There were few guys thinking heavily for a month in an office and try to find the best way of the product, the guest experience. But no, the team I have in Booking, I've got small engineers, very quick, and they say we don't care about your opinion. Your opinion is not valuable. We don't. What the point? We have thousands of people booking on the website, and the big data decide how people are booking. If they prefer this landscape of page, if they prefer this way of the booking engine, if they prefer this type of pictures, landscape or rooms, whatever, this is the people who is deciding now. So this is also something we have to take into consideration. So if we go now a little bit more in details with the quality process, you have all the feedback from the guests. I won't go too much into the details, but there is great tools. What is the most important with the smart data is that all the tools you are using to collect the information, they collaborate each other to give you not clerical information, but analytical information. The way you will cross this information, it will give you added value to understand where I have margin of improvement. I didn't talk so much about the teams and the staff, but this is, of course, we are in the servuction, in the service part of the servuction. Staff is almost 50%, even more, of the production of the service and the value. So you have to incentive them on the economic results of the properties, on the guest satisfaction, on the reputation that there is on the web, and you have to provide them with tools and feedback reports on how the quality is processed. And this is factual. It's not me, the bad boss that don't like this and this person. No, it's the guest that give the feedback. And they have to improve and to evolve to match with the new expectation from the guest. And then, of course, you can always run some mystery shopping twice a year to have a neutral opinion about what is the quality delivered in your properties. To make a quick statement on the e-reputation, of course, you have to engage the conversation with the client. That's a matter of fact, but it's very important. You have to, sometimes people say, why the guest will trust my reviews? Why, if I am an hotelier and I publish reviews from my guests on the website, why they will not prefer to go on TripAdvisor? Because maybe it's more neutral. The guest came to your premises, to the hotel. He goes to the room, he gives you the credit card. He got naked, take a shower, he sleep, he watch TV, he sleep with his, he's doing his very. It's very familiar experience. He walk in the swimming pool almost half naked with the swimming suit. So they have already a very strong confidence relation with the guest. Otherwise, we are in this type of business that is very particular. So you have to publish and you have to be open-minded and you have to accept the transparency. And it's because we were too close-minded that we gave this very big path to TripAdvisor and the other guys about reviews. So you have to collect the reviews, you have to publish it, and you have to play the transparency and the confidence up to the end with your guest. And because you will follow all this process, you will use all your guests as drafting forces of original content. And I don't know if you're familiar with the original content issue with the Google and the SEO, sorry. It's because you get much higher ranking if you have original content. That's why TripAdvisor want to keep the original content on his website, because it was generating traffic to his website, and you are not allowed to use it on your own website. You can put the small widget, but at the end of the day, it's always come back to them. So you have to play this transparency because it will enhance your own visibility on the web. And also you will create the confidence with the guest. One quick figure that I just remember now is that on Google you have 50% on Booking. Sorry, you have 50% of the guests who are looking for hotel that goes on the website of the hotel. And Peter was telling me that most of them they came back on Booking because the reservation experience it's much more valuable or it's better on the Booking page. Booking.com page than on the hotelier website. There is better pictures, it's own language and everything. So in fact, people benchmark on Booking, then for what they saw there, they go and check few websites from the hotel. It's the perfect time to make the direct booking. But no, they come back on Booking.com because they don't find this experience of booking that they have with Booking.com. This is an example of an hotelier that publish. You see the system we have. Okay, I can tell you because we're in Greece. It's called Olakala, and in France, no one understands and has a clue about what Olakala means, but we know what Olakala means here. And this is the tools that it's deployed in about 5,000 hotels in Europe and give the grades. And publish it also, but this is just the emerging part of the system because you have a lot of analytics behind. And you have also big network. The Logi, it's a network of 3,000 small hotels in France and abroad. And they are publishing, they play this role of publishing the reviews of the guests. So then again, forgot about the TripAdvisor widget. For what they will bring to you, it's good, but you don't receive money from them so far. So you don't have to contribute to their business for free. So put it on your website, accept to play with the transparency with the guests. Then I will go quickly on that one because it's been quite a while that we are saying we're showing the tricks with the OTAs. I will go quickly, but I took this example from an hotel in Paris. Of course, I wish we can all have more than 70% occupancy rate all year long. But at the time, this hotel, let's say in 2000, they were like 70% of occupancy rate. This was the normal business that was there for years and years. Then he signed with the OTAs, he signed with Booking, and suddenly his business increased. He went up to 73%. He said, great, I made a fantastic deal, 7% commission, and I gained some occupancy, so that's a good deal. But then slowly, the initial clientele, the clientele that were coming naturally to the hotel without any commission or with a much lower commission, they shift the channel of distribution and they went more and more to Booking. And Booking built up, I'm talking about Booking, but there was Expedia and the other guys, they built up this huge image, huge database, big data in terms of marketing and everything, and they built this dominant position. What happened to commission? Surprisingly, they went from 8% to 15, 20, and so on. So we know it was easy to put the finger hit, but it will take much more time to go on the other direction. So that's why mastering the distribution, all this information, all the data that need to be in the hotel, because it's the hotel who has to control it. You have to use the OTAs at some stage. I think no one is able to bring any client from China or Singapore. Of course, it will cost you hell. Just the trip to go there, you will have to sell maybe 100 rooms. And you have no ability to speak in Chinese or everything. So for some type of client, you can use them. And you're ready to pay high commission. Why not? They're bringing new businesses, something that I cannot get. But for what is the 80% of your businesses, you should keep them away from that. It's your business, you don't need them. You should not need them. You have also all this distribution that is used in the yield management. I think we went a bit too much crazy with the yield management, but we are all human, and the human is always the same things. We always move into the extreme. Either we are extremely positive, 2007, 2008, finance is crazy, we're getting a lot of debt, fantastic, we invest, we do crazy things, there is tower in Dubai, life is marvelous. And 2009, extremely pessimist, it's dramatic situation and everything. So the human being is like this, we always move from one extreme to the other. So anytime there is something new in the digital, we always move to that extreme. The e-reputation came, so everything is about e-reputation. No, it's just a part of it. And we have to master it, but we don't have to commit all our effort, all our analysis on it. It's just a small portion. Yield management also, it's a small portion. The price tracking, it's also a small portion. There is many tools that do the rate shop or the price tracking, and people, they think, okay, I'm going to be the most clever guy in the destination. I'm going to track in a hidden way the price of all my competitors, and because I am so clever, I will put it €1 below, and because I put it €1 below, I will gain much more market share. First of all, it drained the whole destination to the bottom, not to the up. Then it's just a deny of marketing. Is Apple saying I'm €1 less than Samsung? Or Motorola or whatever? No, they're explaining why people should pay a little bit more, because they have quality to offer, they are better to the competition, and it's not a strategy to say I will be €1 less. In that case, I will urge you not to invest in your property. Forget about refurbishment. You will always win, you will put €1 less and you will be always on the top. So it's not a long-term strategy. It could be sometime interesting. Could be some time to optimize when there is some peak periods of demand. You say, okay, I want to work a bit more on my occupancy or on my average daily price. Or sometimes it's interesting, but it's not a marketing strategy. So sometimes we overdo a little bit with what we can get from the data. And of course, there is all the monitoring of the activity, so to define what is your market, to control very closely your ranking, the performances of your property against its market, and to compare, and this should be almost a daily also activity for you. So to finish up with that. I hope I wasn't too long. We have to collect and to master the operational and marketing data to turn it smart. Data is not smart. Data is smart for Expedia, data is smart for TripAdvisor, but so far data is not smart for the hotelier. And the one who is taking the risk, the one who is there with their investment for a very long time is the hotelier. So it's the hotelier who has to take the data, put it back, because it's their operational data. The nationality of the client, what he like, how he behave, and everything, it's the hotelier data. So we have to bring this back. Okay, we miss it. It was not part of the skills required to run an hotel, but now it's the part of the skills that is required to run properly the hotel. And we have to analyze and to combine all those data to understand how quickly the expectation of the guest is changing. And this is the very usual things now, but before we've been in the center and we were trying to interact with the guest. It was more an intrusive way, but nowadays it has completely changed. The famous generation Y, the famous the digital revolution. Now the hotel has to interact with the client, but the client interact with the hotel, and the clients are interacting each other. Between each other also. So it's quite a mess, actually, to be honest. It's quite a mess. But still, it's the world we are living now, and it has completely changed, and we have to adapt, and it's not anymore a centric approach. It's it's more like a constellation, and everyone can speak to each other always and communicate. And of course, when people was not happy, he was saying, I went to this hotel, it was not clean, and there is only the people who are sitting at the dinner who can listen to it. But nowadays, it goes on internet, and it has much bigger impact. Same way that people say it was a fantastic experience also. So we have to be much more committed to that. And if we want to be ready, because there is so many revolution that comes out on the market, there were this OTA revolution, and there will be other revolution. It's not mature yet. We are at the beginning of something that is still shifting very quickly. It's just the beginning. It's not the end already. So if the hotelier want to last, they have to control the data themselves, because there will be other revolution coming. The sharing economy is going to be very strong and very quickly also. The mobile is just at the beginning, it's not yet end. And also, all the players in the destination, they have to go together. It's not anymore one hotelier that will say, okay, I will go and see the Russian and so on. It's all the players inside the destination that has to promote the destination. If the pie is growing, everyone will benefit from it. But we have to be unified in terms of destination. The destination and the country has to be the locomotive, and all the other players, the hotelier, the transportation, and everyone has to follow, and everyone has to follow the same strategy. Because the booking is so strong now that when France wants to shift the legislation to help the hotelier to fight against the dominant position, they say, look, Paris is a city break, or Cannes is a city break. Okay, I have better commission in Barcelona, so I will push all my commercial and marketing strategy to push people to go to Barcelona, because I have higher commission and I don't have any issues with regulation and so on. So if we don't want to rely on those guys, it's the destination who has to be the umbrella and to protect the tourism market on one hand, and on the other hand, the competition in tourism is turning crazy. You have massive investment. Monaco is building a completely new entertainment. I'm not even talking about Dubai and other destinations. Everyone is investing a lot in tourism, because everyone thinks tourism is a great option. We have no industry in many countries. We forgot about it. Maybe a little bit the German, but not so much. So Europe is the first tourism destination so far. It will still be the first tourism destination, but the competition around is getting more and more stronger. So that was all about. Thank you very much, and if you have questions.